So a lot of roofing contractors that I talk to and I see posting in the groups that I'm a part of are always asking how they can get good sales reps. They're like, hey, all the sales reps suck, right? They can't perform, can't do anything, can't find anybody that wants to do the work. And so I'll ask them what they're doing, for example, and they'll say, oh, we're having them door knock and then take them all the way to a close. And I'm like, okay, um, definitely not going to be finding an A-player sales rep doing that, right? But there's some mindset shifts that a lot of roofing contractors need as business owners, and I had to make as a business owner myself to actually be able to hire, train, and retain really good salespeople. And so first things first, it's understanding that high-performing sales reps are very rare to come by, right? 90% of sales reps have never had any sort of formal sales training or even read a sales book, right? They just come in because they think it's going to make their life easier, whatever it is. The high performers out there are people that are naturally gifted, right? And they're very few and far between, or they've been investing in themselves to become what they are, right? And with these high performers, they're not going to want to go work a job where they have to knock the door, generate their own leads, and then close. They want to come into positions where they're going to be able to make the income they want to make and use the skills that they're good at. So knocking doors is a waste of a good sales rep's time, right? That's what canvassers are for. But with that, you have to understand as a business owner, when you're bringing on sales reps, you're selling them on why they should work with you and stay with you as much as they're selling you on why that you should let them work for them. And if they're high performers, more so you selling them in that case, right? They shouldn't naturally want to come work with you when they have dozens of other options where they can make millions of dollars a year working for a company that provides them with warm leads, training, all that sort of stuff. And so that's a big mindset shift I see a lot of roofing contractors needing to make, right? You need to sell these people on why they should work for you as much as why you should let them work for you, right? I got tripped up on the words there. But yeah, in that process, it's a process of transferring belief in yourself and your company and what you can do for those people and your team, right? And if you have for your sales program, they have to go out and knock, generate their own leads, convert those leads into appointments, and then go through the entire sales process and close, they're going to be spending 8 hours a day to get one sale, right? Knocking doors all day. So with that, a much more efficient use of their time, if we're looking at it from their perspective, would be, okay, we have 4 appointments booked on my calendar today. I can go out and close those with my close rate at about a 50%, right? High performer, average performer, 30%. I'm going to close 2 out of those 4, right, for that day. And all I have to do is show up, run the process, and actually sell these people who have already showed they're interested, right? A sales rep doing both the prospecting, so the door-to-door, whatever it is, reaching out on Facebook, and the closing, a sales rep doing that isn't going to be able to be efficient and able to be able to scale and grow their business. And if that was like the commonplace for the market, right, that's what everybody was doing, maybe you could get away with it. But nowadays, roofing contractors and roofing companies that you're competing with, right, on a daily basis, understand this, that they need to sell these high performing sales reps on working for them as much as the sales rep needs to sell them on allowing them to work with them. So what they do is they not only provide these people with warm lead flow and booked appointments, right? And you can do that through a multitude of ways. You can do it through digital media, right? Digital marketing. You can have appointments that are setting those appointments, call center on the back, inside sales team, and then the closer goes out and closes that. You can have canvassers going out, knocking doors, getting interest and setting appointments for those sales reps that go out, right? There's not one way to skin a cat, right? You can do it multiple different ways in generating those opportunities. But these sales reps who are high performers don't want to be knocking doors all day, right? And you have a position out there for a high performing sales rep and they have to knock and close, you're not going to get anybody good. I can promise you that. And you're going to have a really high churn rate, right? The number of people that stay as your sales reps are going to get burnt out so fast, they're not going to stay. So first things first, you need to provide them with a warm lead flow. And that's what I do for my sales guys when they come on. I provide them with warm lead flow. And what this does is it allows them to get in day 1, day 2, and start actually running the sales process instead of just knocking doors, right? Do I have them do prospecting outside of that when they have free time? Of course, right? But providing that base warm lead flow is really important for these guys, especially that are high performers, if you want to keep them on your team. 1 second there. The second thing is building that culture of success, right? If you just give a sales rep a lead and say good luck, right, and they have no semblance of what the hell they're doing, what they're selling, they're not going to see success. So you need to be training these people and meeting with your team daily, at least, right? You should be meeting with your sales team once a day. And when you're doing those meetings, first things first, you should be practice drilling and rehearsing the sales process that you run. Two, you should be identifying opportunities that are stale in your pipeline or stuck in your pipeline and talk about how you guys can work together to get those unstuck, right? Whether it's somebody who got a quote that's like kind of sitting on the fence, right? Or it's somebody who reached out but hasn't booked an appointment yet, right? How do we move those opportunities forward? And obviously, you're going to want to focus on the hotter opportunities first, the people who have already gotten a quote, and then work backwards. And then really just discussing every single lead in your pipeline that's come in over that past day, what happened, how did you handle it, that sort of stuff, and helping them improve from there. And really what that is having that daily practice, drill, and rehearsal on the process will keep them basically oiled up, right? Keeping them like an oiled machine so that they can run this process and continue to close for you while you step out of the business and start working on it instead of in it every day, right? And so first things first is getting those warm leads, right, as we discussed. Two is keeping the cogs of the machine running and doing that daily discipline, right, of practice, drilling, and rehearsing the sales process. Running that with the team, seeing what sort of issues they're having and helping them. Because if you only see your team once a week, once a month, right, for training, which is what happens in a lot of organizations, you're not going to be building that culture. You're not going to be helping them to get better. Instead, what's going to happen is these sales reps, even if they come out of the gate performing really well, they'll start ingraining bad habits, and then they'll just stop performing, right? And I've had that happen in my life when I wasn't doing the practice, drill, rehearse with my sales team. I had a guy come on very, very, very strong, but after 3 months, and me not staying on top of it daily, right? It was like weekly. I would listen to recordings and then monthly maybe. I would come in, there were so many bad habits ingrained that he just stopped performing completely, right? And we had to end our relationship there, which sucks when you bring in a good performer. So, right, first things first is getting that warm lead flow, right? Next thing after that is providing that sales training and building that culture with them and having those daily meetings. And you can hire a sales manager to do that, obviously, but that's going to cost you anywhere from 10 to 20,000 minimum to have a good sales manager on doing that. Or you could do yourself if you have that sales experience, and always bringing in new things, right? You should constantly be educating yourself on sales, right? Reading books. Spin selling is a really good one. Taking courses on sales, whatever it may be. There's a lot of good sales programs out there for you to be able to use and leverage into your sales training as well. And so those are really two things that I see. And the biggest thing we're talking about here is that mindset shift, right? You have to sell these people on why they should work for you. And having that warm lead flow, having really good sales training in place that helps them convert and make the type of income they want to make is going to be what you sell them on, right? Because that's what most sales reps are looking for nowadays. They want warm lead flow so they can close more deals. And they also want a place where they can continue to grow and thrive and scale their careers. And if they don't see you as that option, right? If you have somebody, you're like, okay, you got a door knock, you got to close, and we don't provide any training, right? It's just, hey, here's a neighborhood we want you to knock. Good luck. Even if you do get somebody on, they're going to churn pretty fast, right? So end of the day, understanding that you're selling these people as much as they're selling you is really, really, really important, right? Why should this sales rep come and work for you who's not providing them with any warm lead flow when your competitor down the street who's doing $10 million a year, right, is providing them with that warm lead flow? They have great sales training programs. They have great culture, all that sort of stuff, right? Who would you choose as an employee is really what you should be asking yourself, right? And if it's the other company, how do you improve your company to be able to compete there, right? So one, flexibility of work as well, but what we were talking about, warm lead flow, consistent sales training and building that culture. And then other perks you can add are that flexible schedule or whatever it may be to allow you to compete with those bigger companies. So my name is George Roros. I hope you leave this video at least 1% better today and better able to grow and scale your roofing business. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. I'll see you all soon.